Yearly physicals are overrated. Oil changes, a waste of money. Computer updates, not necessary. It's only chronic disease, engine failure, and identity theft. Nothing you can do about that. What? Nobody actually believes this, and yet, when it comes to personal habit change, we quietly expect new habits to stick and endure without tending or maintenance at all. We all know maintenance prevents breakdown. We just forget that new habits will erode if not maintained. Come with me. Let's unpack the fallacies of change and talk about what it really takes to move from motivation-based change to long-term growth that survives real life. Dr. Dave here, aka the GardenShrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into life, love, and gardening. Join me on a journey to increase both our fruit in the garden and in our professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening as a hobby, or you're an old pro, or just someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow together. This is part 5 of the 6-part Real Change series. We've slowed the change process down on purpose because doing it fast keeps getting us the same old results. So far we've talked about aligning our desire to change with our values, acknowledging our mixed feelings about change, and building a change plan that is grounded and can survive real life, and getting us through the boring middle, when the full rewards of change haven't shown up yet, and following through with our plan feels like a grind. Today we're talking about maintenance, a part of real change that is essential but often not discussed. I mean, once we get traction, how do we keep it going? What do we do to build something that lasts? Ideally, with repetition and consistency, our change efforts evolve from effort-based to automatic actions that fit who we are. We stop white-knuckling it. We do it because I'm the kind of person who takes care of my health, or I'm the kind of person who lives within their means. Not because we should do it, but because that's who we are, and that's who we want to be. When new behaviors become part of our identity, they're easier to maintain. But identity takes time, and a lot of life can detour us before the new road is fully paved and solidified. Want an example? Well, look no further than the space between your ears. Your brain is like a network of superhighways. Old habits, they're the well-worn routes. New habits, they're roads under construction. When stress hits, we default to the old route. That route didn't disappear just because new construction started. It's still there. It will always be there. It doesn't doom you. It just means you have to keep your GPS on and stay in your lane until the new road becomes the default route. When we slip, it's not because we're weak. It's our old ingrained habits getting triggered. It's neurology and chemistry and biology. Now there's another enemy of maintenance, complacency. As Farmer Dave might say, the only problem with confidence is we become confident. And a little too comfortable. We start to coast. Excuses creep in, things get sloppy. I mean, I do, you do. And there's a clinical term here. It's called being human. But when we take our human foot off the gas and we start coasting, before we know it, we're back on the old road, leading to places we thought were in our rearview mirror. And they could have stayed there if we'd done better preventative care and long-term maintenance.
Can I be honest here? Mid-season tending is the most important part of the season. If I'm not staking my tomatoes, tying them up, pulling dead leaves, adding mulch, and dealing with pests and disease when they first show up, my harvest won't be a zero. It'll just be smaller than it could have been. After all the work I've already put in, why in tarnation would I want that? So let me ask you, do you want a few early tomatoes or a season-long harvest of them? Me too.
Get that garden wisdom into real life. Most maintenance failures aren't moral failures. It's normal brain function. It's our tendency to get complacent and it stems from design failures. We don't drift because we're lazy. We drift because we didn't build systems that protect what we planted. Maintenance isn't about trying harder, it's about designing better. Creating plans and systems that are realistic, flexible, and built for the challenges that life always throws our way. Always. Let me know in the comments below what challenges trip you up. For me, not getting enough sleep is a big one. Okay, so what's an example of a better system? Removing cues that trigger old habits, or adding friction to old paths, like removing apps from your home screen or unsubscribing from food delivery apps. Better systems also make the healthy choice the easy choice. They build protection into the system, like naming and writing down your predictable excuses. Oh, I've had a busy week, right? By acknowledging them in advance, they're less likely to sneak up and sabotage you when you're not looking. Like creating a lapse plan in advance. Write down exactly what you will do to get back on the program. Now, hear me. Maintenance work is essential. It's not an add-on like an extended warranty. It is the long-term work. But for it to work, the paychecks can't stop. When there's no feedback, no wins, no sense of progress, it often does. In learning theory, we call that extinction. If you ignore behaviors long enough, they stop. Most parents know this. In real life, people often call that being realistic. But it's not realism, it's a broken feedback loop. New habits need a lot of reinforcement in the early stages, but they still need some reinforcement, some payoff in the middle and later stages to keep them strong, to keep them going. Hey guys, you want some cheese? You betcha, my little Yorkie and my Morkie do. They come running every time. Why do I give them a treat? To keep their training intact. We also need the occasional treat. Noticing and celebrating and reinforcing progress matters. Small rewards matter, especially in the boring middle, before the big harvest shows up. Now here's another Dr. Dave truth. Maintenance requires not just a one-time commitment, but recommitment. We don't just set it and forget it. We recommit over and over and over again. Not dramatically, quietly, seasonally. Identity doesn't mean you never decide again. It means the decision gets easier as it becomes who you are, faster and less emotional over time. Change isn't a road race. It's not even a marathon. It's a lifestyle. And with repetition and consistency, it becomes more automatic. It becomes the new road and your new habit. And it becomes a hands-free vehicle. So what does maintenance look like practically? No hacks, no hype, just science. Think of these in terms of what we started with, our health, our cars, our computers. There's preventative maintenance, like physicals that catch problems early, oil changes that keep our engines running smoothly, and computer updates that increase our cyber security. And there's regular maintenance, what we do when a problem shows up. Prevention strategies include things like making the right choice the default, reduce friction for good habits, increase friction for old ones, continuing to track progress and developing feedback loops. If you don't see progress, your brain assumes nothing is happening, so write it down. Track your wins, even the small ones. Remember that even ingrained habits need reinforcement and reward, at least sometimes, or they'll begin to fade. Engineer small payoffs so your nervous system stays invested before the big results show up. It's also helpful to develop a relapse response plan before we actually need it. Don't pretend that lapses won't happen. Plan your reset. Ask, how do I get back on track immediately? No shame, no drama, just back to tending. And we need accountability and check-ins, like medical checkups. Progress grows when someone else knows your goals. We all need mirrors. We all need course correction. We also need to be mindful of our self-talk, around our habits and especially our identity language. Not I'm trying to change, but I'm the kind of person, who does ... We are what we eat, and we are what we think. And we'll discuss our self-talk in much more detail in future videos. Maintenance works well in support systems. Change stabilizes in relationships. That's why support groups are so effective. We need input. We need encouragement, reinforcement to prevent relapses and to help us return to our action plan. Finally, retending rituals help us to stay on track. Put maintenance on the calendar. A Sunday reset, a monthly or seasonal goal review, a yearly retreat, or a conference. But most importantly, don't wait for things to fall apart. Be proactive. That's what makes professionals professional. They maintain and sharpen skills. They review progress. They address problems, adjust, and get back on it. Let's take the same mentality we apply at work and apply it to ourselves and our personal lives. Okay, if this has resonated, like and subscribe below. Check out the free resources available on my website to help you maintain your hard-earned gains and the progress you've made, because living systems naturally drift without tending. Behavior fades without reinforcement. Every garden needs mid-season care. Every life does too. In part 6, we'll come back this summer and we'll talk about how to retend what you planted, how to respond to drift, and how to recommit without shame, and how to keep growing when the excitement has worn off. It will, but we'll be on the lookout this time. Until next time, friends, keep tending what you're growing. See you then.